My name is Gardner from Blaqrock. I'm on JBTV.
Now tell us about where you shot it and everything.
We shot it at Roosevelt Skate Park, and we had a amazing artist, director, and videographer, Cholette. Yeah, he pretty much filmed all of it, and edited it, and like he was there with us through the entire process. So we had like a dancer.
He was a friend of mine that I actually he was one of my old coworkers at a job that I used to have in a mailroom. He's a krump dancer, a Chicago style krump dancer. It's a really cool freestyle form of dancing. So I thought it would fit the style of the video, and it worked out great. And he showed up with a friend that also does that style of dancing. They just kind of freeformed it in the video. Because we were at a public skate park, there were a lot of people, just skating at the time of the video. That kind of, you see a lot of people in the background, and then people came and joined in and we're doing tricks in the video and stuff, and then it was really cool.
Yeah, it rained in the beginning. I was like, oh man, we can't do it now. And then like everything the rain stopped, and we just got back to shooting everything. It was really a good day.
When my birthday rolls around, I'll get an electric guitar, and that ended up happening. And I just started playing rock tunes. I've always been into rock music, and the thing with me was, my parents say you have to go to college, but you can study whatever you want, but you have to go to college. And I figured, might as well study music. So I studied guitar in college, and that's where I met the guys in Blaqrock. I got in the band and brought the rock influence to the hip hop influence, and I think it helped me evolve as a guitar player. I'm a big I have a Gibson. That's my main guitar. It's in the music video that you see. Recently, more of a PRS guy, big into PRS guitars, but yeah, no, I've got a couple different brands that I'm into.
Glad you all got together. And what's cool about music today is that the genres aren't like so strict as they were way at the beginning. They're all blending together and everything,
Didn't start playing the drums on an actual drum kit around the age of I'd say 15, maybe 14. I was really heavy into the Rock Band drum set, the game for like the Xbox 360, and I was very, very fortunate for my uncle to purchase a drum set. Well, unfortunate for him, he had no storage or space to put it in. So he asked me if I had a space in my room. And, I did not hesitate. I told him yes. And, next thing I knew, there was a drum kit in my room. And then from there, my passion and hobby for the drums just grew. Fast forward to college, I met a majority of these band members, Miles and Garner, through Columbia College. Around my graduation year, I say the year 2017, that's when I joined the band.
As far as my drumming influences, drummers such as John Theodore, Josh Freese, Brad Wilk. I'd say those would probably be my top three drummers of all time. But I've always liked his power, his energy, his rhythms. Josh Freese, I knew him because he was a drummer for Nine Inch Nails. That was a long-time favorite band of mine since like 2005.
Yeah, so I didn't start playing bass until I was 18, actually. A senior in high school, and so I kind of joined the game late. But I actually started as a jazz bass player, so I started on upright, and that's kind of what got me started, like on kind of my musical journey. I started playing when I was 18, and kind of instantly fell in love. I was going to be actually a computer programmer before that, and took a pretty directly sharp 90-degree turn
Actually,
there. And,
I got to tell you, in life, you got to do exactly what you love doing and never deviate from it, because life is too short, and music is just the best thing. And so you took the right path.
100% agree. 100% agree there. I up with these guys right after I graduated college, and yeah, I mean, it just seemed like a really great opportunity to kind of, like you kind of said, blend all the genres that like the band kind of incorporates, and it's been a really great experience for me.
I say, so me getting into music, it started back in high school. I was really into Odd Future at the time, and I really wanted to have my own rap group back in high school. So me and a couple of other people, we were trying to like write raps and stuff. And man, I was horrible. I was so bad at rapping. Like I was not the greatest. I was told I was not good. And then in college, I was like, okay, I was like, okay, I like music still, but I was like, I want to join with like talented people. So I wanted to start like a band, and The rest was pretty much history. I didn't go to school for music. I went to school for film. And
Cool.
I decided to do something else because I think film, just as an avenue, I didn't really feel like I could express myself.
For the most part, rock drummers have been my influences for the past 15 years.
I grew up listening to 97.9 The Loop with my dad. Every time we get in the car, that would be the station to put on. And so I just, that's where my early influences would come from. When they used to play all different sorts of rock, Metallica to Pink Floyd to Guns N' Roses. But I was at a bar once when I was like 19, and some people thought I was Slash, and I signed the napkins. But anyway, big into 80s rock, mainly. I wanted to move to LA, and because I thought maybe that, I don't know. I was kind of naive. I thought maybe a little bit of that scene was lingering. I don't know. But no, I got some modern influences too. But I mainly sit in that era, in that style.
I was gonna say for me, it's kind of hard to pinpoint for me because I really listen to basically everything these days, like anything from like jazz to metal to hip hop and whatever else there is in between. Probably my favorite bass player of all time is Jocko, just because he's a bass legend for a reason. But then even I guess going up more modern would be like Thundercat and Mono Neon, who are those more like really skilled, masterful, almost like hip hop R&B bass players. Juan Alderete, who is one of the longtime bass players for the Mars Volta. He's really influenced me as far as bass effects and stuff like that, which anybody who knows me knows I'm also a pedal nut. As far as bands, Rise Against earlier, but then also like the Strokes were a big influence.
Yeah.
Gorillaz, I really loved all throughout high school, which kind of, like I said, like that genre blend.
People that inspire me is NERD. I collect CDs. But yeah, NERD. I really love the Neptunes. I think Neptunes are great. I really love what Pharrell has done. I really love this album in particular, In Search Of. I just love the album cover. It's very casual and it's very informal, but the music in here is like rock influence and it's hip hop influence, and it's great. My other influences is Seal. I love Seal. I love him as a vocalist. I love all his music because they all sound like movie soundtracks, and that's great. And I listen to The Doors sometimes, and I have the greatest hits on here. I really love The Doors. And then I listen to Santana. Lastly, Charles Gambino, because of the internet. I really like it. I just really love it. I love it. That's all I can say. But yeah, these are my influences.
It's so good you have CDs too, because it's something you can show people, It's like, remember the old days, people used to have record collections, and it was a whole thing about the record collection. And now it's like, where's your record collection? Oh, it's in my phone.
Yeah, times have changed.
Yeah. So what was your first concert, Gardner?
My first concert was Charles Gambino because of the internet tour in 2013. And it had changed my life because, like, oh man, I miss live stuff. He had like these projections like on like the stage, like it looked like a mansion. Like they had like the long, I guess like the long poles or whatever, and it had like this carpet and had like a couch and stuff, and had windows in the back. And then he had like this huge screen in front where it looks like it was like a computer screen, and had like this computer woman talking to him and stuff. And then he had like a band with him in the background. And then like the monitors were, it was just great. It was crazy. And then when you hear someone play music that you can like sing to, it's insane. Because before that, I didn't understand why everyone would just want to go to a concert. Why don't you just listen to it on your headphones? But now I understand now. It's great.
So how was it when you first actually performed in front of an audience? How was that first show? When was it?
It was, for me, it was back in 2015 at Columbia College's Big Mouth. And I was nervous. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was so nervous. Like, I don't know, like, even when you had people on stage with you, it was like, because I'm the front man, right? Remember, I was just saying a bunch of random stuff. Like, even, like, because the song that we did, I didn't even finish, like, the lyrics. I wasn't looking at people. I was pointing at people, and I was just saying, like, random words, and I was really loud for no reason, and it was great. And I kept doing that, and over time now it's like getting on stage is like I can just go on stage now. I'm not as nervous. I think being on stage is the thing I get nervous about. Now I'm more nervous about like, well, at the time, I'll just be more like thinking about like what can I do to get, you know, people to, you know, like us and be interested in us and stuff.
But again, performing, that's a lot of work, especially, you know, when they're at our JBTV studios. A lot of the bands, these are their first television appearances, and it's hard to, you know, think it's just TV, yet you got an audience. So how do you look? How do you do this? And so if you can get up and perform like you did for your first show, that means so much. And every time you do a show, it just gets a little better and you get more, you know, used to it. Have you actually done a tour yet, like around the country or out of the United States yet?
That's what we were gearing up to do this summer, actually. We were in the process of booking the tour, and COVID just kind of, you know, was slowly taking down the live music industry, and so we just had to cancel it altogether. But you know, we still have a great relationship with the people who are helping us book it, and you know, when the time comes, we're going to be getting out there. So it'll be happening.
Yeah, I know. It's like in January, we're all going, this is going to be a great 2020. You know, we've got this going on. We've got Lollapalooza, Riot Fest, all these festivals, all these tours. Literally, we had shows at our studio booked like all the way through September, ready to like in just discussions and things while they're coming in, you know. And it all ended. So it's like one day, all this work, and then the next day, absolutely nothing. It's just a crazy time, you know.
We were going to go to Punk Black Fest in Atlanta. It was going to happen. It was going to happen. It's still going to happen someday, but not. It wasn't going to happen because it was literally like a day. Like it was literally like a day left or something, and then we go on social media and it says, "Yo, we can't do it," because they were pushing it back. And then they're like, no, we can't do it no more. We're like,
it was interesting because when we released our music video, the cool thing that happened was people from around the country were, you know, seeing our music video, and then bands from around the country were saying, hey, we would love to do shows with you. And we started booking shows. We had one in Ohio. We had one in New York. We had Punk Black Fest, which is a festival dedicated to bands with people of color in it, which is a really cool festival. We did a version of that in Chicago. But their headquarters is in Atlanta, Georgia. So we were going to go out there and do that. But yeah, so that was separate from our tour. So we were going to do that too. But hey, we're optimistic, you know, we're staying positive. We're looking to the future, and we know that we're going to be hitting all those places when the time comes. So
yeah, it's all going to happen one day. It's just going to be
literally.
This is a year you guys should be writing and recording. So when you go into the recording studio, record more than you need, you know. Yeah. Because you've got time now to create a lot of new music, and it's a good time to create because it's the worst of times in a lot of ways, you know. And music is such a uniter too. You know, you guys write songs at the time, you may put it aside, but a couple years later it becomes something important or more relevant. Has that happened to you yet, or?
Yeah, it's happened. It's definitely happened. It's happened with Mass Appeal. It's happened with Kicks. I remember when Mass Appeal was brought to us by Miles. We were at the Music Garage, and he played it, and we didn't like it. We wasn't really messing with it. We were like, we don't want this at the time. Whenever we come up with something, we keep it still. We don't completely scrap it. We still keep it, you know, if we want to work on it again. And then I don't know what happened, but Miles played it again. We didn't even know what it was, I think. And then I started singing over the chorus. I just did the chorus of it. And everybody was like, oh, okay. And then everyone started liking the song now. So that's what happened with Mass Appeal. And then with Kicks, I introduced the little chorus part of it through a voice memo on my phone. Like it wasn't no drums, no nothing. It was just do, 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 on my phone. And that was back in 2016. And this was a whole different lineup at the time. And everyone was like, oh, well, okay. And then later I played it again, and then Miles, he took that and he made it into something with the guitar. And then I started rapping to it, and then it became Kicks.
That's awesome.
At the end of the day, I just keep doing it, you know, and I study it, and it's a craft that I really care about. So
well, you definitely have a career.